Alright, hey YouTube, it's RGM79 Pilot here with a new deck profile this week, as promised. It's the O.C.G Anti-Metaglides. I found it online a while ago, and I thought it was really good. It's really easy and simple to make, and it's really competitive. And let's get started with the deck. With monsters, we have one Gores, overall format staple, stops OTKs. Next we have two Thunder King Ryos. He's probably the best anti-meta card you can play. Level 4, light, 19 beater. They can't search your deck, or you can't search yours for stuff. It's not a really big deal for this deck, and it contributes itself to stop any special summon. Next, one Gale, very splashable. It's a shrink with wings. A Rescue Cat. It gets out synchros faster, gets out your GBs, basically. Two Test Tigers. It becomes any GB you want with their effects. One Airbellum. Gives you access to synchros, easy level 6s or level 7s. Bestiary. Overall deck staple. You have to play this deck if you're going to play GBs. It gives you Gazarist, it blows up back rows, and possible game if you don't lose it to bottomless or something like that. Next, a Retiari. He's a water, so it's going to play a part later on in the video. He wrecks graveyards for like Lightsworn and zombies, and it kills Miracle Fusion targets, so that's good. Next, two Liquaris, your overall beater in GBs. It gets Heraclinos out. Next, two Samnites, Rescue Cat targets. When he kills stuff, he can search your deck for any GB card and add it to your hand. Murmillo, another water monster that it's going to be pretty useful later on. He kills monsters that are face up, and overall monster control. Two Quests. He basically recycles any lost GB card in the graveyard, gets your chariots back and whatnot. One Darius. It brings back your Bestiary or your Aquari for fusion plays. And one Hoplimus, just for defense. That's it for monsters. Next, with spells, 3 Book of Moons. Usually GB plays 2 or 3, but this is a very good card. It stops synchros, it stops attacks, it stops Honest and Callets from happening, and it can wreck Black Whirlwind plays with Blackwings. Next, Brain Control. Take their stuff synchro. Not enough targets for mind control in this deck because there's only 2 tuners. Next, back row control with Heavy Storm and MST. One Proving Ground because you're playing 2 Ryos, and it's going to contradict itself if you play more than one. This is a really heavy O.C.G staple in GB decks. It's a quick play, it gives your GB 500 more attack, and you can filter your graveyard by returning any 2 GB cards to your deck to bring this back, so you can keep reusing and reusing it to pump up your guy. Next, Lightning Vortex. It discards, so with Indomitable it can be a target, and you can get it back later on, so you don't lose any good cards in your hand. Doesn't target, destroys swarms. Same thing with Smashing Ground. It doesn't target, so it can get rid of Arcus and any just heavy monster that's sitting out there. Next, with traps, 3 Wabakus. Usually it's a staple in GBs at 2, but with this deck, 3 is really good. It's really chainable, and you just protect yourself from anything, and your guys still survive. One Widespread Ruin. In the O.C.G deck list, they play D Prison, but I don't own one right now, so this is a good reserve to it. It doesn't target, so it can kill Thought Ruler if they ever bring it out. Next, War Chariot, just to... Oh, 2 War Chariots, I'm sorry. You stop effects from happening, bring it back later with Indomitable Glider Beast or a Quest. Next, another negating card. This is another pretty heavily played card in the O.C.G games. It stops Threatening Roars, Oppressions, Mirror Force Torrential, any trap that's not a counter spell. Next, staple, Mirror Force and Torrential. Overall format staple, 2 bottomless, and 1 compulsory. It gets rid of any synchro that's just sitting there like Stardust or Colossal that you don't want to be there, and also gets rid of your opponent's like desperate plays for setting monsters or summoning them. That's it for the main deck. Now for the side. This is my original side, so this is not copied. 1 Jiu-Jitsu Master. It's a good defender. It forces your opponent to kill it without really losing too much of their stuff. 1 Banisher, because you don't want to lose your stuff to this, such as Chariots or any other GBs, and your opponent cannot play any Honest or Calyx with this on the field, and they can't tribute Stardust, so that's also good. Next, 2 Kaikus. Overall side deck staple. It stops removal, it wrecks graveyards. Next, Cyber Dragon. It gives you field presence. It forces your opponent to use Bottomless or Torrential. And also, this new tech I play, Super Poly. You can discard any card to fuse any monsters on the field for a fusion monster, and it can't be negated. So Murmillo and Retiart play a good part with this card, because you can get 0 out, and your opponent cannot. So if you take their hero or their 0, the field's gone anyway, and you get your monster out, so that's a good plus. Or it breaks even right there, actually. 2 Deep Fissures. Just 2, because 3 is way too much, and it gives you dead draws, and it works well with Widespread Ruin, so your opponent can't Stardust, and it kills Lightsworn, obviously. An extra Chariot to stop effects. An extra Widespread Ruin for protection. 2 Royal Oppressions. With this deck, I don't really worry about getting Gyzarus out or Heraclinos if I side this in, because I'm usually going to side in a lot of anti-meta stuff, and it's going to kill your opponent more than you. Then overall, side deck staple, 2 Light Imprisoning Mirrors. It kills Lightsworn, so always good. Then next for the extra deck, 2 Gyzarus. 2 is really good. Bestiary, Contact, blow stuff up. 1 Heraclinos, very good for stopping Miracle Fusions or any good spell like that. And I think 1 is perfect, because you're never ever, I think, never going to get another Heraclinos out at the same time. So 1 is just good. The next, 2 Absolute Zeros, because I do play the 2 Polys in my side deck. Next we got the Hidden Arsenal trio. Cassiter, Mistworm, and Brionic. I don't really synchro that heavy into this deck, but when I do, I usually get level 6s out, so Brionic's a pretty good target. Next, 2 8-star monsters, Colossal and Stardust. Like I said, I really don't synchro that much, so when I do, I have a variety, not just a whole clump of them. So 1 Stardust and 1 Colossal work. 1 Android. It gains life. It's a light. I think that's good. Next, 3 level 7s. A Black Rose, Armor Master, and an Arcanite. I have no trouble getting these cards out whatsoever, because you do side the Kaikus, so you can get him out, and you do main a Gale for Armor Master. And Black Rose is just simple to bring out with this deck. And 1 Goyo Guardian to run over their Gores and take it, or any other thing. And then just to finish up, the cool tokens at the end, as usual. Alright, that's it for the main deck. I hope you guys like it. If you want, try it out, and I suggest you do. I think it's really good. It's competitive if you have nothing to really fall back on that's not too expensive. Also, if you have your own version of this deck, or a weird type that's similar to this, give yourself a video response to this, and I can give shoutouts, and I can possibly help out your page. And don't forget to please comment, rate, and subscribe my stuff. And as usual, more videos to come every week from Pastimes. And stay tuned, and I'll be seeing you guys later.